Okay.
I can't speak for all.
Live.
I can speak for myself.
You say what?
I said I can't speak for all the men. I can speak for myself.
Amen. Listen. That's all we can do. All right, y'all. We are live. We'll just give it a couple minutes for folks to start joining in. My best friend is Danny. I don't know. We'll do introductions, but this is my best friend, Portia.
Hello, Portia.
How you doing?
I'm well.
That's good.
All right. So let's go ahead and jump into it because I don't want to hold y'all up too long tonight. I know it's been a long week. I don't know about y'all, but it has been a long week for me. Woo, work been kicking my butt.
Yes, it has.
So welcome to the Exploring with Dora real life-ish video blog where we bring real topics. As many know, we are in the process of doing a Living Singles series where we talk about topics different topics surrounding being single. You see, this is why I love my best friend. See, people already see you, best friend. Look, Chop, like these people know you, gang.
Right.
Look, these people they keep me out here. Okay, but anyway, Living Singles series. We're just going to be talking about our experience with being single. Portia said it earlier. We are only human, so this is our opinion. So our opinions are our opinions. We all have different perspective. If you have perspective, you can definitely add it in the comments. Jay, you want to join us on the live so Portia don't feel outnumbered?
Yeah, we need another man.
We need another guy. You want to join, Jay? That's Jay. He said hi to everybody, y'all. He said hi to everybody.
Hi, Jay.
All right, so let's jump into it. I'll go. Last week, Danny and I were here, but we're gonna let you introduce yourself again, Danny, just in case we have some new folks. I don't think Jay was on here last week, so but what we'll start with you, Danny.
Hello, I am Danielle Baines. I am on Instagram at just1DannyB. I am here because I talk a lot. I'm very opinionated. So,
Thank you, Danny. Jenny.
Hi. Hey, everyone. I am Jen, aka Ivy Lee on Instagram and Twitter and other places. I am a scientist by day, and I don't know. I have fun at night. I don't know. I read books. I'm here to give opinions, maybe a little research, little stats every now and then. Keep you laughing.
come on.
Yes. Jenny, you got to do your plug on your
my business.
Yes.
Okay. So I am the lead scientist and CEO of African Bloodlines. It is a startup genetics company where we merge science and activism to get more African descended people involved in genetic studies, as well as raise awareness for our social issues in our communities.
Love it. And Danny, don't forget, I'm about to book my consultation with Danny. I need a whole branding shoot. Need some when y'all see her name all over my Instagram soon. Okay. Now this man needs no introduction. My best friend. No.
Come best friend. He's famous.
My name is Jonathan Portia. I'm a paramedic firefighter here in Memphis. Met Dora a long time ago, about 10 years ago. Been knowing her for a minute. So I know Jenny. I don't know you. I don't think. I really can't see. My phone is kind of small. But I don't know. I haven't seen you before. I don't think so.
We need to upgrade that then, friend.
I know, man.
I mean, the iPhone 12 is out.
Mike said, what's up? What's up, Mike?
It's holding me down. Oh, my man, Mike.
Hey, Courtney. Hey. All right, so let's just jump into the topic. So I always like to put interesting, topics out there. And the topic tonight is: do men need to be needed? And I kind of left it out there. I didn't put a lot of context around it because I wanted to have the conversation around: do men need to be needed? And I'll give you a little bit of context from my end. One thing, I've talked to a lot of different males, right? And I have the pleasure of having a male best friend, which is awesome. But I've heard a lot of different varying opinions on men actually being more attracted to women who need them. And I think that for different men, it varies. But Portia, since you're the male on here, tell us, do men need to be needed? Best friend.
I believe that when you say needed, I think men, it feels good to see. We want to provide and protect, and I feel like that.
It knocked him off again.
It knocked him off. He'll be back. While we're doing that, I'm sending Jay this link because Jay wants to join.
I think maybe he answered a text message and you can't do both.
He got an iPhone 4?
Y'all don't be clowning my best friend.
Whole thing. I will answer the question then so we get another male's perspective. I'll just give you a little history about myself. It wasn't until I was in my mid-30s, which I still am currently. I guess, well, I'm over 35, so I'm not sure if that's considered mid. I'm kind of over. Anyway, I didn't learn until marriage, after divorce, relationship failures, that what I was lacking. And although it was being said, I was not receiving it. It was being said kind of like, I don't know my place in your life, or you want to be the man too, or you want to be in control of everything, which was not the case. My thing was, I want someone who is able to lead me. However, you can't lead me off of, in that I didn't realize that I was making all the decisions. And part of that, just being honest, is I'm in a male dominated factor at work. I'm a lead production planner. I work with nothing but men. I am the only female that's at the boardroom table, and I am the youngest. So I believe that my drive was great to get to where I needed to be in my career. However, it has made me suffer in some ways in my relationship.
That's fair. That's definitely fair. And I think that that leads me to also what I think as well, because sometimes, and the video I had sent you, Danny, on the video I recently watched, there was a tagline around women, and I forgot the exact tagline, but I ended up watching the full video, and the context was, if you're a woman and you're looking forward to following your ambitions wholeheartedly, go for that. You know what I mean? But there are some women who their desire, but he said, put equally as much effort into, being a wife, if that's what you desire at this point in your life. And I thought that was an interesting perspective. I'm sure that most of the people here would probably say that I wish my best friend was on here, because he tells me about this all the time. But I'm a very driven person, so I'm very focused on I have tunnel vision. So I can definitely relate to being in the fields, especially male-dominated fields, and being extremely driven, and sometimes coming off to be very. Jenny, how do I come off? Tell me.
You're assertive.
Okay.
There's nothing wrong with being assertive.
I think in order to be very driven, you have to be able to balance the male and the masculine energy. And I believe they did speak about that a little bit on the video that you and I both watched. I got tidbits of the video, but basically they were saying, like, women are trying to compete in a male sport. And I didn't all the way agree with that, but yes, we make the same amount of money or more. We want to get paid fairly. We want to rise up. We want to be the CEOs and the CFOs and so on and so forth. But why do we have to give up the womanly things to do that? We really just don't have time. And I think the video was talking about, if you want to be the CFO and CEO, you also need to put as much effort as into being a wife. And I think that the dynamics of that kind of changed, like with our parents. Because I know for me, my mom wasn't like, oh, you need to do this and that to become a wife. She was like, go to work, go to school, make money, stand on your own 2 feet. And that's the now 37 years that I've been hearing is go to work, go to school, make money, go to school, go to school, go to school. I mean, I'm not the only 80s babies on this call, so you guys chime in. Other women, did you get that same perspective or did you get something different?
I definitely got the same perspective. So I've been a career student all my life. I'm just finishing up my PhD, and I definitely, thank you. I definitely feel that or know that, that was driven into me as well, right? Go to school, go to school, go to school. So much that I haven't even taken a break yet. So, and again, in science, you're in a male dominated field. So you go to work and you have this masculine energy that you take with you, and you come home and then you want to put on this feminine energy, or, figure out some type of way to balance that. So the question is, do men need to be needed? And what I told Dora today was, I said, that's a people issue. That's not a man or a woman thing. I think that people want to feel needed. Mm-hmm. And sometimes in masculine energy or the masculine energy of a woman could make a man feel not like he's not needed because you're not putting on your femininity. Are you being authentic or vulnerable? Are you sharing your needs, wants, and desires? Is there space for him, right? So I think that what we've seen in the world, especially being 80s babies, was, this push for women at work. Right. This push for women in education, this push, if you've even seen, like, since the pandemic, African-American women in particular have been coming out on top as the newest, members of entrepreneurship, right? I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think we're learning to turn corporate on its head and be present, be more at home, and be more self-sufficient. The issue is that men haven't been allowed to have feminine energy, right? So they don't really know how to communicate sometimes, or because everybody has both. You have both. As a man, you have feminine and masculine energy.
Right.
As a woman, you do too. So just, are women creating the space for men to also share their wants, needs, and desires? Do their opinions matter? Like, is it on both sides to where people can feel needed because people can share, where they are? So that was kind of my perspective.
What would you say the female energy in a man would look like? What does that look like? Because for so long, men are told not to cry. I think that that's something like that's suppressed within them. But what would the female energy in the male look like?
I have my thoughts, but Jay, do you want to go first, or you want me to go first? I'm gonna go first. Yo, you on mute, Jay? Not no more. She took you off.
No, I'm just messing. I play too damn much. I'm sorry. So what's going on, y'all? I'm Jay, aka Jay is back on everything pretty much. I'm gonna just give my little introduction. I'm an actor in LA. I'm also an entrepreneur and financial planner. What else do I do? I work for an airline also. I just do that for the flight benefits, you dig? So okay. I'll be all over the place. But feminine energy in a man, what it looks like is pretty much exactly what you said. Like just showing emotion, any kind of emotion other than anger. Because that's what men tend to, especially me being a former athlete, that was what we had to do. We had to show our emotion in anger, especially on the football field. You come across a guy that plays an aggressive sport. First thing, if you hit them, what's their first instinct? Strike back. That's the first thing. Lash back out. You talk trash to them, what's their first instinct? Lash back. Whether you talk to a woman, you talk trash to a woman, the tears start to go the waterworks come on. But it's like what you said. The just showing any other emotion besides anger, that's the feminine energy in a man. And I can attest to that. I cried at my sister's wedding. I cried at my brother's wedding. I'm the emotional one of my siblings, and I have no problem with it because guess what? I know how to fight too. So if you really want that problem, I'm gonna fight and I'm gonna cry with you and pray with you right there because I'm sorry that I just put this hurting on you.
That thing to put the hurt on you.
I really like this coming from Terry. It's not a bad thing, but it can be very unhappy. You have to keep working in life apart. Always keep your head up. A lot of it's finances that make people feel different. And that's true. Finances can definitely be a driver on what makes a man feel like a man. Like if a woman makes more. I've heard that before, but I think it's like a perspective thing too. So I definitely agree, Terry. Definitely agree. Sorry about that. So you can fight, Jay?
Oh, yeah. I'm trained. I've been training for how long have I been training? Since I was about 24 as a mixed martial artist. So running up on me is not going to be a good day.
And I love like the conversation that you all were sharing around like being able for men to express their self or their emotions and so forth, because I think that's so important because we're kind of taught these ways. And I want to get back on the topic that Danny was just talking about with the thought process of kind of what's been drilled into our heads around we as women need to just kind of like work, build your foundation. And I think that's something that came out in that video we were watching too, Danny, right? Where they were talking about kind of how they feel like a part of the programming of women has been, they called it, I won't call it bad programming, but I think that's kind of what they were saying. Like bad programming is we've been told by our moms that we just need to work and, get things done. And then we also need to, our fathers have told us we need to work and get things done. And society kind of throws out this high girl summer, like, and I'm in my bag and he in his too. I'm in his too.
Yes, I'm in his bag.
So.
Yeah, everybody want to be in their bag. Women want to be in their bag. I think I think it has a lot to do with like they were saying that women were like our grandmothers were dependent on their husbands. Our mothers saw that and they were like, okay, I want to have more independence. And then they raised their daughters and we kind of lost that stay at home and cook because our mothers worked. And so with our moms being out of the house more than in the home, we were not taught all the skills of what men are looking for as far as being a wife. Because for men, nothing has ever changed. I think Jay said profess, protect, and provide. That's what men are. That's what they've always been taught. That's from the test of time. That has not changed at all. But for women, our roles have changed. Whereas, like I said, your grandmother is at home, a homemaker. She's cooking, she's cleaning, she's taking care of the kids. And that is her sole purpose is to maintain the house. Whereas our moms were out in the field, they were working. Yes, they were also maintaining the home, but for majority of the time, like my mom had to do both. She had to work. Whereas my mom was also like, hey, don't be like me. Don't be in a position where you can't stand on your own. Don't be in a position where you can't finance yourself. Mm-hmm. Buy a house. We ain't waiting on no husband. Get your money. We're not waiting on someone to complete you. You need to be already whole. So I was raised with that type of mentality, and I didn't start cooking until because my college days was eggs and rice and pancakes and whatever else I can cook in the microwave, hot dogs. I didn't start cooking until really I had a child of my own, which was at 25.
So you make pancakes in the microwave?
I was just saying anything else you can cook.
Oh, okay.
I survived on pancakes in college because it's bread, little water, the water.
Yeah, I was about to say, how'd you do that?
How'd you do that? What type of microwave setting was that? He said, I'm weak.
Yeah, but I agree with you. I agree with you 100%. But it's also, to add into that, there's also what I think is a jumble of these these family structures that could be complete or incomplete. You know what I'm saying? Like there are those women that still protect the house and home, who are homemakers, as you call it, and they cook, clean, take care of the kids while the man's at work. But you also, guess what they have? They have kids that have that instilled to them. And then you also have the women that are independent and that want to be themselves. And these single parents, I'm not just going to say single mothers, single parents that have the other mindset to say, hey, just go out there and go get it. Like, don't wait for nobody. Fuck up. Excuse me. Can I cuss on here?
Yeah, I mean, this
Oh,
is
okay.
All right.
I asked her we drink earlier. She said yes.
The ones that be like, fuck all the bullshit. Let's just go out here and get it. You don't have to wait for nobody. And then guess what these two kids do? These two kids from these different structures, they come together at school, college, a party, and then they become friends. And then they also bounce information off of each other. And then it becomes a cycle. It becomes a cycle in turn. And so now you got like, should I be a homemaker? Should I be a boss? Like, what should it be? They have that internal conflict, and they go into relationships kind of confused. They go in there really confused. Like going back to when you were talking about what do the man emotions look like. I'm an emotional person, and I have no bearing or no ill wills to say it. Like, I'm saying it straight up. I've had women tell me that I'm too nice. They're like, you communicate too much. I'm like, what does that mean?
That's toxic.
Like, do you want me to not talk to you? I mean, Jen was the one that told. No, I'm just kidding. Jen didn't tell me that. But like, I've literally had that conversation with women. They're like, "Oh, you too nice for me." Like, what do you want me? Do you want me to grab you by your neck and tell you to come here, make my tacos, make sure that kitchen clean? Like, what? I could do that.
Make my tacos.
You don't mind grabbing a neck or two, okay?
I could do it, but that's not my character.
Right.
I can do it because I'm an actor. I can portray just about anything now. I've been training since the day I stepped foot in Pine Bluff, Arkansas. And I'm still training to this day. I can play anything that I need to. So if you want me to go that route, by all means, but I'm not going to, because that's not my character. And that's where that confusion gets into, because I've come across a lot of women in my life that just don't quite know what they want in a relationship. And they don't want to express what they want. They just want you to, I want you to know what I'm feeling. I want you to guess what, like, I can't, if I knew what was going on in my mind, the world would be so much better. But you want me to go into yours and you giving me that cold shoulder? Like, what does that mean? Just speak to me. Talk to me. Tell me what you want. What do you want from me?
What these bitches.
I would like to piggyback because y'all just said some cool things here. So, Danny, you mentioned wholeness, right? And I do feel from an 80s baby's perspective, wholeness was all about the bag for women. It was about our forward movement. It was about, those degrees. Okay. All right. Did you get your coins? Did you have your Roth IRA accounts? Are you saving for your savings account in your house? Did you get your car? Is your credit score together? That was our level of wholeness. And I think that to your point about things not changing with men, what really hasn't changed for them is their idea of femininity and wholeness, right? So when they're speaking about wholeness, or when we should all be speaking about wholeness, we're really talking about like emotional openness and vulnerability. We're talking about the ability to communicate, the ability to know that relationships aren't a fairy tale, that it take work from both people, right? Are you authentic? Are you mentally clear? Like those are levels of wholeness. Do you love yourself? Those are levels of wholeness that I feel like women don't often show in their own femininity because we're 9 to 5 in it. We single mothering it. We're degreeing it up. And those types of investments, especially if it's about a daily grind and a struggle and a doership, are very masculine. And so when you're talking about being whole, we got that part. But then we talk about Black men all day. Are you in therapy? Do you know your mama? Do you know your daddy? Do you know the Lord? But like sometimes we don't really have are you sure? Do you like your mama? Okay. But sometimes we haven't really taken a step back and said like, okay, are we whole? Do I like myself? Am I authentic? Can I communicate to this man what it is that I need? And so I think that society has pushed women, especially Black women, to a level of success that makes us seemingly more masculine. I don't think we want to be like that. I think we feel like we've had to. I think that we've been pushed to, or we also probably are very ambitious by nature. So that's no knock. But to be able to then be vulnerable with a man, we want it. We want y'all to, make us feel cute and 16 and shit. Like we welcome it.
We like it.
We like it. So I think that that's like one thing that I'm kind of hearing, especially when it's as Jay was talking about merging two different perspectives and ideals and mindsets, and merging two different people who probably grew up different, is a level of wholeness has to be on the table for both parties. So
that's good. The level of wholeness.
Mm-hmm.
So when we're saying, do men need to feel needed? I was talking to a friend of mine, and I won't say any names, and she telling me, like, Danny, I feel like it's my time for men to kind of like celebrate me. In my past relationships, I've been the one going half on everything. I've been contributing to the household, 50%. I'm paying for the vacations 50%. And my head almost spin off my body. Because I was like, well, if you're doing so much, then what does he do? How does he feel like the man? And that's where you're missing the step, because he can't provide for you if you always whipping out your car too. And men like to put on that Superman cape. I don't know no man that doesn't want to feel like, wow, I just turned her on to something new. I just upgraded her life. I just done this. I'm the man in her life. It's like, dun, 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 dun. They ready. They coming, they ready. But if we keep whipping out our cards, if we keep making the decisions, then where does he fit? And that was one of the things that I spoke to her about. And she didn't really understand it until I gave it to her in that perspective. And like I said, this was something that I had to learn in my mid-30s, that, hey, I can't do everything. I can't handle everything. If I'm supposed to be joined with someone, if I'm supposed to be making space for someone else in my life, I have to allow him to take on some of the load, so he could feel appreciated and wanted and needed in our relationship.
So before I ask Jay to comment, right, I would like to speak on a scenario, right? So I was talking to one of my homegirls, and she was like, her friend and the friend's boyfriend, they've been dating for like 3 years, and they live together, right? So I think maybe their income was relatively close at one point. She got a promotion, and he felt like she got bougie, and she started buying a couple of bags. She started doing little things. And he was like, well, since you got so much more money now, I think you should take care of like 80% of the bills. Or like he flipped it on her. And so look at the faces. So I'm bringing this up because while I do feel you on the women got to step back to protect and to allow men to protect and provide and to show up, I do feel like there's a trend of men out here that I don't know if they're upset about the dynamic of the women, or I don't know how to describe it without sounding shady. But it's just like, what y'all be on?
Come on with the shade, honey.
What y'all be on? Like, what is that? Like, I get it. I was like, maybe he's trying to check her into saying, like, since you want to, get these bags or whatever, pay more bills. But I really wasn't understanding the flip. But it's a thing in the streets. It happens.
Oh, it is. I don't know nothing about that life.
Okay.
See, I was gonna add that, and I'm about to give it to Jay. I have a complex as well. I think look, anybody who knows me just a little bit knows that, like, I probably don't have, like, I don't date and look and say, okay, well, does he make more than me, or does he make less? I don't look at that. I honestly don't.
Right.
And what I found is I've been that woman where I'm like, because I was raised by, seeing my mom and my dad and seeing other couples, I'm that one who's like, let me just see, I'll go have, like, what, what's up? Like, I came to a point where, like, I wasn't raised with a lot of money, right? I had a good life, no doubt. But, let me do that disclaimer. I ain't got a lot of money now either. So let's not, get it twisted. But I'm doing well for myself. I'm single. I have my son, but we're doing a good job over here. Thanks, Jesus. But what I found is that I'm that one who is like, okay, you know what? Like, how much is it? Like, because I've done that. I've been guilty of that. And I think it was an article I was recently reading that was talking about how, like, sometimes I feel like as a woman, I felt like I was in relationships where I needed to be needed in order to feel fulfilled. That's a whole other topic. But I mean,
other day, because listen, okay.
That was a relieving. But Jay, what are your thoughts on what we've been talking about so far?
So the flip, like what Jen was talking about, what that seems like to me is an insecurity. I've been blessed to have both of my parents in my life. My parents actually just celebrated 40 years of marriage last month. I'm a product of an anniversary 32 years ago. that I was there. I was born from that.
Yeah, I was there.
I was born from that. But,
No, you.
No, I was born from it. But so the flip, it seems like a real insecurity that some men have. If he and then it's like a sense of selfishness also. So it's hard because I haven't been in a relationship where I wasn't pretty much the top breadwinner. So it's hard for me to say like, oh, this is really what it is. This is really what it wasn't. Like my ex-girlfriend, she was a hairstylist. She was a cosmetologist. So I made far beyond what she made. I have multiple businesses. So it's not to gloat or anything, but
he can't speak from that perspective of a nigga trying to.
That's because he got 4 jobs. Okay.
I heard. Like an African, they got all the jobs.
That's because he got 4.
I didn't know that was like a thing, because like niggas really trying to come up on females that are being successful. Like that's crazy to me. Like, but I guess so, because now in the news you hear men filing for spousal support. Like, what's Kenya on Housewife? Her husband.
Yeah, I saw that.
Came after her money.
Maintenance fee.
He was like, oh, I don't want her money. I'd leave everything. I have successful business. But the minute that it was over, he gave her some papers like spousal support. I'm like, well, what kind of man is that's going to get money from a woman? I don't understand it, and I ain't attracted to it at all. But anyway, that's all I got to say about that. These niggas really trying to come up. No.
These new breeds and breed of men is
yeah, like
they're questionable. Like
who raised you?
Who raised you?
Like how?
If straight up, if I'm done with the situation, I'm done with the situation. I don't even want to have to see another paycheck even come from that person, unless we had a business together that we went in literally together, and then that business is still thriving. Then I'm gonna have to see that name on that paycheck. You know what I'm saying? But if we're splitting, then guess what? We split. We parting ways. We are no longer doing anything together.
But how is a man the head and you expecting me to pay 85% and you pay the? Sorry,
I think he was trying to pay utilities, sis. He was just trying to pay utilities.
Baby.
No, I don't know. I didn't go into detail, but I just thought that the flip was real. I was like, ooh.
But
and women are really doing this though, because we so independent. We got the money. We really like go ahead. But how?
He's just selfish. He seemed like he's being selfish in that moment. It's like, okay, since she's making more money, let me put my money. That's what he's that. If
put my money.
In a relationship together and they are living together and all of that stuff, money should not be separated. Money should be together. If you're together, guess what that means? Money should be together. So there should be no issues or ties to say this is where I work. I work in the financial planning industry.
Wait, what is Hero? Hero, why are you talking? You need to join the live. We need some Hero today.
I work in the financial planning industry, so I've seen this more than 100 times.
Stay together like
where these relationships, they go together, they do everything together, but want to put that money together.
Because it's my money.
It's not.
It's not.
You know how relationships come and go. Like, let's be honest.
Yeah.
You
it's not the money.
months, and he want to go 85, 20 on the damn rent. So that relationship is done. Here you is putting your money together with somebody that you're not even with for a year or 2 years or 3 years. You guys couldn't even make it past the 3-year mark, and I'm gonna put my coin.
So why y'all living together?
If you living together,
so why y'all living together?
If you living together,
we are cohabitating. It's cheaper to
nah.
live.
So listen, I got some. So
Don't even put yourself through that stress, sis.
If you don't live together,
maybe we've agreed to have,
it seems like you didn't agree.
In-house. Not outside. Here it is. I'm paying $2,000. You paying $2,000. We might as well live together and get this in-house going.
I feel like if you're gonna live with somebody, the purpose of that is to be intense and intentional about merging your life with that person.
To prepare.
You are setting your groundwork
for that.
Right.
You see that
so
rock,
if you're gonna do that,
hand, girl?
you can start doing little stuff like, okay, we go get an account for our bills. We both go put our money towards our bills in this account.
That's different. The bills in the account.
Like if it's a bank account and we go like, okay, rent, what, 1,600, I'm gonna put whatever I'm putting, you put whatever you put in, whatever we've talked about goes into this account. And we know that we're paying bills out of this. I still get to keep my account. You can still get to keep your account.
Okay, that's smart. Okay.
But I mean, I think that there are ways you do it. I don't think you just jump all in stupid and be like, you get, all my all my account information. Like, no, that's crazy. But I do think that continuously living separately and together, like, you confusing yourself. Why would you do that?
But okay, here's the thing, and we have to be very, very careful when we say, okay, let's merge households to save money, because then you become the person that's like, now you're dependent on both of your incomes. All right.
Said that though, that's the issue. So I've done the whole, okay, let's do this. It'll save money. That's the worst decision you could ever make, because you not even saying like, and not to say that you don't love this person and you don't want to be with them or whatever, your circumstance is, but you're not even, the first thing out of your mouth is not even about, we're ready to take this next step. It's literally like, all right, well, we've been doing this. We know we got it. We gonna make it. And let's just go and get together. That's stupid. So before you even go on, I just do feel like there needs to be a lot more intentionality, especially now that we're in our 30s and no longer in our 20s.
Right.
Like about like, why are we moving in together? Because I gotta like you. I gotta look at you. I gotta smell you. You gotta cook or at least clean up. I mean, I can cook, but can you clean up? Okay, sorry. Keep
going. Can we normalize like paying people to clean the houses? Like, just normalize it. Y'all gotta get out.
Yes. Can we normalize?
No, I normalize it. I don't care what. Look, here's the thing. Let me tell you what I do. Nah, I work too much. I gotta clean her. She's the bum too, y'all. So if you need her, just hit my link. Hit the DM and I'll give you her. She's the bum, y'all. Okay. Anyway.
Hey, women are working 9-10 hours a day, coming big moms, and then you still want me to cook a full meal, turn around clean, then be happy that you home and have sex with you. Wait a minute, this is a second shift of work. This is a lot of work.
Well, you better punch that clock. Just playing. So I'm a little bit different in that situation, because I cook, I clean. I've been on my own for quite some time, so I do all those things that you're saying already, and I do them probably better than I'm not even gonna give a number. I do that better than a lot of people.
He was going to say better than a lot of women, and I was going to also tell you, Danny, when you were talking about what to look for in an emotional man or a man, or how do men like use their emotions, if he can cook and he can clean, just keep that,
Hey, that's a little nugget.
That's a little nugget, because at least he's been independent enough to take care of himself and to kind of, he can figure that part out.
Let me write that down.
That's a nugget for real, because all of them can't do it.
Take notes. No,
clean. They can't do it.
Girl, no. Men can clean.
Men can clean, and if he can clean, he probably could tell you about his feelings.
I'm low-key germaphobe too, so I'm
definitely be for real about it. Okay.
Where they at? Y'all hit my DM.
Look.
Can you cook and clean? That is a requirement.
I'm gonna put that on my.
That's 2 of the requirements. Hit my DM.
Look, that's one of the ones. I'm about to put that on my Hinge profile.
Yes. Can you cook and
conversation starter? if you want to talk about this.
If he could do at least one, like if you could cook and he could clean, or if like you can do the services, but he can give you a little meal, you know, a little taco, a little spaghetti, you know, you just gotta figure out if he could do some of those things. Okay.
Jenny, did you just say the basics of the basics? Did you say tacos and spaghetti? Somebody playing with you. Jay, what you be cooking?
Nah, I'm throwing
what
down.
What you be cooking, Jay?
I'm throwing down.
Oh yeah, Jay, what you cooking?
I'm throwing down. You want some fish? You want some steak? What you need? Like I'm doing shrimp. You want them crab legs? I got some crab legs in the freezer right now.
Yeah, they out there. They know how to make salmon, fish.
I just made a big ass pot of gumbo.
Like, rice pilaf.
What do you need? Do you want the jambalaya from scratch too? What do you
need? All that.
Jay, where you live at again?
I stay hungry. I'm always eating.
Look, Jay, where you live at?
I'm in Cali.
Me and Daddy gotta come out to Cali, let them cook.
Moving to ATL soon, so catch me while you can.
Right.
Y'all heard that, single women.
Listen.
Jay is back. Is his handle. He can cook and he can clean. You heard
he
it.
Can do everything.
Right.
Jay. So look, y'all.
And we can travel the world. I'm just throwing that out there for extra little tidbit.
Put it out there, laying it on thick. Go, Jay.
He said you ain't go Houston, Atlanta, Vegas. Me?
Oh.
I'm not gonna play with y'all. I don't got nothing else to talk about now. Y'all done. Woo, let me stop. Okay, so all right. So last thing before we head out, because I know last time we was on. Can y'all believe we've been on here for 40 minutes? I promise y'all, it does not feel like we've been on here for 40 minutes, does it?
No, it doesn't.
It just time flies so fast. So, all right. From what I've taken back from everybody is that, and I want Jen to actually sum this, because what really helped me when I remember I was texting Jenny, this was like a day or two ago. In essence, what she said is everyone needs to be needed. And what I heard everyone say is that everyone needs to be needed. We got to learn to respect boundaries, create boundaries, and respect boundaries. And I think this goes back to our first discussion we had, right? Where it's, you got to find what works for you, right? For some folks, 100%, the man, be taking on 100% will work. For others, it might not, you just got to find what works for you, what you feel comfortable, what you're happy in, what makes you joyful at the end of the day is what I'm hearing. Because it's different strokes for different folks. And I always say that because, there's no one shoe fits all. So, y'all share with me, what are some parting thoughts that y'all have to leave the people? Whoever wants to go first can go.
Oh no, I think we were all thinking a little bit. I think that relationships are, especially in the Black community, in all communities, but especially for us, are going to be the key to changing things for us in our communities, in our families. Like, relationships breed families, right? And they breed who you are as a person. As Jay mentioned, these two different perspectives can come from two different ways of life, right? Single parenthood versus two-parent households. And let's be very clear, two-parent households can still have a lot of trauma. So that don't mean nothing. But just in general, being more cognizant about relationships. And that's a very big issue for women because we love to relate. We love to have time with our girlfriends. We love to be with, men as well, women, whatever you do, But just the family structure is important. Relationships are important. And in order to maintain those things, you have to be a whole person when you come into them. So I just think that, do men need to be needed? Yes, but women need to be needed as well. And we have to kind of find our own path before we can hope to be with somebody else. So that would be my takeaway for today.
That's good. My takeaway for today is going back to the topic, do men need to be needed? My answer is yes. Women need to be needed also. And I think it's finding that healthy balance, communicating what are your needs. That's the key to the success of the relationship. Communicating what are your needs. I'm going to say that once again. Communicating what are your needs, identifying what your needs are so you can effectively communicate that to your partner. And then it's on them to be able to either fill those needs or you to make a decision to to dissolve the relationship and go elsewhere. But I'm all for relationships, healthy ones, of course. I do want to piggyback on her saying, the wholeness, be whole, love yourself before you love someone else. And that's my takeaway.
Jay, he over here looking like he thinking hard.
My bad. Email came up, but the takeaway that I'm gonna go with for this is that we're all humans. Don't put too much pressure on yourself. Don't put too much pressure on the relationship, especially in the beginning. Like really get to know somebody, see what they're about, see what their family values are about, but show interest. And something that I we didn't touch on this at all, but something that I experienced out here being in Los Angeles area is that a lot of people, they look at the astrology. Like it could be cool, it could be bad, or whatever you want it to be, but don't just be like, oh, my birthday is November 23rd, your birthday is August 20th, so we don't match. Like
hey, that's my birthday.
That's your birthday?
That's my actual birthday.
Oh, I know, but but like for real though, don't just look at it and be like, oh, you're this, I'm a that, so we're gonna match. Like, no, there's still a whole bunch that you still need to learn about that person. And like what Danny B said, you gotta have that communication. If you don't have that communication, you have nothing. You're not gonna have anything. Your foundation is gonna be rocks instead of being cement.
All right.
So it's gonna crumble. It's gonna crumble eventually. You never know when, because rocks are strong. But at some point they will crumble because they're not packed in together and sealed and stirred up, you know what I'm saying, to make that solid foundation. Thank you. I just want to thank all my fans.
No, I love it. I love the conversation. I don't know. What do y'all think we should talk about next time? Because like I had some queued up. So let me know what y'all think we should talk about next time. Because this has been a really interesting topic. I'm going to link the video that we referenced earlier because I thought it was a really good video. You got to watch the full video in order to get full context. But I really enjoyed this. I want to do one on Living Single What app. I don't know, y'all. I be on these apps. But in reality, I don't have the patience. I don't even know why I be playing on these apps. I really need to stop. Because people that, it'd be like, I'm the worst with the apps. I don't even know. I think I do it when I'm bored. I got a problem playing with people's feelings. But anyway.
I think we should get some feedback from the audience to see, like what do they want to hear? Like what are some topics that we haven't talked about? I mean, this is only our second episode, so we're open to get suggestions on what do you guys want to hear about, and we can definitely bring it up to the forefront.
Yeah, definitely. So I'll definitely do that. I do want to highlight a comment from my cousin Seston. Bad communication can be the root to a lot of problems, and I definitely agree with that. That is so true.
Thank you for your input, sister.
Yes. And it says, Hero said, good crew. Hey, Mama Bear.
Hey, Papa Bear. Look. And Seston, I ain't seen Seston since 2007? Since we graduated high school? Tell Seston.
You didn't come to the reunion?
No, I was in school.
Oh, dang, Jenny. You missed out on the party of your life. Okay, anyway. All right, y'all. Well, we are about to sign out. We'll be back here next Friday, 8 p.m. We'll do a post to find out what people want to talk about. It's just good to talk about it. Like living single, this is such a beautiful time. It can be a very beautiful time in our lives. I want to encourage people. I got to do my little motivational thing. Don't get so caught up in the future. Focus on the present. I just use this essential oil present time. This is one of my favorite essential oils. And it just grounds you to be focused on your present, because sometimes we get so focused on all the other things, and then we just we don't focus on present. So while you can still have tunnel vision, stay present, stay grounded, so that you don't miss what God might have right in front of you, or whatever you believe in. We got a lot of different, spiritual people, but I believe in God. I'm spiritual too, though. Don't get me wrong. But thank you all for joining, and we will see y'all next Friday at 8 p.m. Talk to y'all.
Bye.
Bye.